I will buy lunch for anybody who can tell me what the main points of the last 3 weeks' sermons were. I figured this was pretty safe. So, true confession, I had to go back and look to see. It's like, what, 2 weeks ago, what was it again? Oh yeah, that's right. From Daniel 1:8, and I want to encourage you to grab a Bible and open it up, or actually look it up, because it's not going to be on the screen, because I purposely did not tell Tim so he could put this in the computer, because I want you to actually grab a Bible, or if you're doing it on your phone or whatever, go ahead. If you're using the Pew Bible, get yourself to page 873, or Daniel chapter 1. Two weeks ago, actually it's 3 weeks ago now, the point of the message was to be undefiled. Live a pure life. Daniel 1:8 says, "But Daniel resolved not to defile himself with the royal food and wine, and he asked the chief official for permission not to defile himself this way." We're talking about being prepared for possible coming persecution, and one way to be ready is to live a pure life. Secondly, and you just got to go very next page, Daniel 2:17-18. We're talking about what happens when the bottom drops out of your life, whatever area of your life it happens. Page 874, Daniel 2:17-18. Daniel returned to his house and explained the matter to his friends Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. He urged them to plead for mercy from the God of heaven concerning this mystery, so that he and his friends might not be executed with the rest of the wise men of Babylon. When things go south in your life, get together with your friends and pray about it. And then page 876, last week's message, Faith in the Furnace, Daniel 3:16-18. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego replied to him, "King Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend ourselves before you in this matter. If we're thrown into the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to deliver us from it, and he will deliver us from your majesty's hand. But even if he does not, we want you to know, your majesty, that we will not serve your gods or worship the image of gold you have set up." And the point of last week was being faithful to God, taking a stand for God, even if it may cost you your life. Now, if I were to ask you today to stand up, if you would stay true to Jesus, even if it meant having your head cut off, I think probably all of you would stand up. And not to dismiss your courage, but I think it's easy to be courageous in things that are not happening right now. In other words, there's nobody here threatening to do that to us. I don't know if you heard about this or not, but not this past week, but the week before that, a man came into a church in Detroit and attacked the pastor, and it so happened the pastor was carrying a Glock, and he shot and killed the man. And, think what you want about the pastor carrying a gun in the church, carrying it with him all the time, everywhere he goes. But it was obvious that there was some reason he thought he needed it, and this guy, the pastor would be dead if he had not done that. So what if somebody came in here and said, "All right, if you're a Christian, stand up. I'm going to kill you." Probably, if as I present this way right now, you say, "Oh, hey, I would stand up." I'm not afraid. But you know what I have found many people are afraid to do? Speak up about being a Christian in their own family. Speak up at work. Speak up at school. And I'm fairly certain that your life isn't on the line. wonder what would happen here in the church where, as far as we know, you're perfectly safe. I got an eye on the door. I don't see, well, wait a minute, Shirley Chesbro's out there. I don't see anybody threatening. Oh wait, I think my wife's coming in. I don't see anybody threatening. Yet what if I asked you to stand up in church this morning and say, I am a Christian and I am not ashamed of it? What if I asked you to come up front in the church and say, I'm a Christian and I'm not ashamed of it? I've told you this before. Jerry Seinfeld made this point. It's pretty funny. People fear public speaking more than they fear death. And so the next time you're at a funeral, remember that most of the people sitting in the crowd would rather be in the casket than up front giving the eulogy. Do not fool yourself into thinking that you would stand up under life-threatening circumstances, that you would be true to Jesus, that you would not bow down if you can't take a stand for him where it's safe. I know your family might laugh at you, your friends at school might laugh at you, your people you work with. I know the way things are getting in a lot of jobs. I mean, there might be some kind of persecution. But your life's not on the line. As we examine ourselves before we partake of the bread and the cup, I'd like you to just really think about how often you take a stand for Christ when it's really not that dangerous. And make a commitment that you'll live a pure life. When you have a difficulty, you will pray about it. And that you will not bow down to anyone other than him.